What's going on, y'all? We are back, the Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast, aka the Whip Show on 106.1 FM, WAKT Toledo's community radio station. Now, guys, I always bring you people from WWE, AEW, TNA, and that's cool. But I like to get down and dirty, where wrestling really is. In Toledo, y'all mess with me because I sometimes bring people from Michigan. I talk about Detroit a lot, but I want to bring one of your own. Now, last time I did this, I had my boy Sam Beal on, but this guy is right from the 419, the Glass City. I mean, y'all know I'm loud. I like to party, but this man is a rock star. You know what? I'm going to let him introduce himself because he did it oh so well when I first met him. Go ahead and talk to him, my boy.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. My name is Mr. Party, Preston Ryker, and it's time to party.
Let's get it, man. First and foremost, how are you doing? It is the holiday season, and I was just talking to you off the record. You got a big trip you got to make in a few minutes, huh?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go see my family. I haven't seen them in a long time. Been doing a lot of wrestling and doing some stuff behind the scenes for a little show called CIW Wrestling. But it's not so little anymore because they have a TV deal with WTOL in Toledo, and you can see them every Saturday morning. And the great thing is they have Jimmy Jacobs backstage. He's showing a lot of us how to produce TV, and there's also a gentleman named Michael Elgin we're learning a lot from as well, from behind the scenes and in ring. There's just so many great things going on with that promotion. A bunch of other ones, like what I'm associated with, AACW. I got a show coming up there in December 21st. I'm in a scramble match for their World Heavyweight Championship. That's in Sharpsville, Indiana. And then the CIW show I was just talking to you folks about is actually going to be happening in December 8th. And doors open for that at 4:30. And you got some VIP matches. And then you got the bell time. And then you have the main show. And trust me, you do not want to miss this for a lot of reasons, but for one important reason that I don't think anyone's talking about right now. Actually, that's a lie. Everyone's talking about Freedom Ramsey.
Yes, yes.
Just got signed.
I want to jump in real quick right before we get to Freedom Ramsey, man, because I want to talk a little bit about CIW,
Yeah,
Championship International Wrestling, man.
I
Now,
got goosebumps when you said that.
now you guys don't just work Toledo, y'all do Monroe as well, if I'm not mistaken.
We do. We've done shows in Hudson, Michigan. We've done a lot more in Michigan as well, and Indiana. Right now we're in that triangle, but we're actually branching out. There's some stuff I don't know if I can actually talk about yet, but in 2025 we will be going to a lot of other states. I almost spilled the beans, can't do it yet. But it's about to be huge. It's about
Well,
to be huge.
when you have that info, please drop it here, man.
Oh, I will.
But I want to tell people real quick, if they don't understand the lineage of CIW, like it didn't just start yesterday. The Monahans were a part of this promotion for many, many years, but it's just really
Since
been
the
blowing up,
90s.
man. So if you like to
Since the
talk about,
90s.
yeah, talk about that.
So when I first went to a CIW event, this was in 2011, and it had Rhino. It had a man named Crimson, also known as CK3. It had Malice. I mean, he's still around working, same as the other guys. Abyss. There were so many names. Kevin Thorne, Paul Bearer, Rosie, the late great Rosie, Doink the Clown. There was so many. And my favorite thing about CIW wrestling is it's not a traditional high spot, new era wrestling, right? It's an old school fundamentals and comedy and gimmicks, and you will get your high spots, but not in every match like you'll see in AEW or WWE. We bring something different to the table, and that's why I love it. It's the old school feel meets modern day.
For sure,
So,
for sure.
and we have the stories that it's not just a cookie cutter story. This one is something that you have to come to long term, like the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Beautiful story that they got going on. But we have that also with the story with Michael Elgin and how he got the title and what he's going to defend it each and every month, no matter if that's in Ohio or Michigan or what other pop-up shows they might have.
And that's so dope, man. And I want to talk about something you brought up also. Being on WTOL. Listen, that is the mecca of Toledo
Yes,
television
it
right
is.
there. Sports, everything goes on that station. But I met you like we talked about a little bit earlier at an
Yep.
AEW event. But I want to talk to the fans of Toledo because one thing about Toledo wrestling fans, they're not talked about a lot, but they
Yep.
are very rabid when it comes to professional
Oh,
wrestling,
yeah,
man. You know what I mean? When
I
we have
do.
giveaways, they're always going crazy. They're willing to do anything for ticket giveaways. So has
Yeah.
Toledo always been like that for pro wrestling?
Since I've been around, and that's been, well, I'm 27, and I've been watching wrestling since I was about 3 years old. Yeah, like the old sports arena, before it was a Huntington Center, it was a sports arena. I remember going downtown all the time, and people were literally fighting in lines to get tickets. Like I remember hearing growing up how my parents saw like Leonard Skinner and Ozzy Osbourne and the Stones and everything, and they would break out in fights just to get those tickets from back in the day, just to make sure they can get to that concert. Um, it's the same thing. Like it's a little edgy, but I mean, it's wrestling,
For sure.
The fans love it. They want to be a part of it, and that's my favorite thing. People are bringing signs back to shows, especially at CIW, at AACW, a lot of other indies. Like people weren't doing that for so long, but it's coming back. I love it. And I truly believe it trickles down from the big guys, from WWE, from AEW to TNA. If um, OVW, NWA, so on and so forth. If they're doing good, we're gonna do good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, man, your character is so much fire. Like,
Yes,
I gotta ask you, and I don't even like saying character, but is this the real you? Are you really a party guy
brother.
like this, dog?
So I like to party. I like to drink. But I mean, I'm doing responsibly.
And
Let me
he's
just
not
say that.
lying, y'all. He was at our part. He was at our pregame party. We was going away. You get it? We was going up.
This is me. Like this, the Mr. Party character. That's me. Um, I tried some other stuff. I'll break it down to you. I was a scary clown. Um, it felt like it was me because I was in a dark time in my life. But it wasn't. I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it. And then I was like, oh, sweet, because I like heavy metal. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna be a rock band guy. Like Jimmy Rave, but modern day take on it. And it didn't really work. But I was like, you know what? I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, which you more than likely have because you know everybody. Jeremiah Goldman.
Oh yeah, 24
So
karat, man.
I lost a bet. He is the reason why Mr. Party became a thing. I
Okay.
lost a bet. He didn't like the scary clown thing. He didn't like the other things, and he said, "Hey, you always wear a Bud Light cowboy hat to my shows at FU Wrestling because I was a referee." And he knew I was training at the time and I got cleared and was doing some stuff,
Mhm.
so on and so forth. Um, he's like, all right, I'm going to book you in an angle. It's a outside show at a VFW hall. This was up in Michigan. And he's like, you're going to be a bad guy. I said, okay. Like this is different. He's like, I know you like to talk, cut a promo, and then just have fun. It's like, all right. So I said something along the lines of, you people aren't anything to me because I hail from the number one state of all 50 states, Ohio State. And I got booed. And I was like, this can work. This can work. And then I came out with the Red Solo Cup. And then I just danced the Red Solo Cup
Toby
by
Keith.
Toby Keith.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is working. And then I sent that into a guy named Tony Candello in Winnipeg, Canada.
Okay.
And that is a promoter that is trained Edge, Christian, Don Callis, Kenny Omega, all these guys he's helped train and show like his way of how he does stuff from back in the day. Um, uh, like he also personally trained Roddy Piper, and I was like, wow, like that's really important to me because like I study him and I love his work. Um, and so I was like, all right, so I sent it to him, and he's like, this is amazing. Like this is great. He loved the character development and everything, and I went there, I got my confidence, and it blew up. Like I have my own action figure line now. And we'll talk about that, but like it led a guy who had no confidence, had no idea what life was about. Because I had depression my whole life,
Wow.
didn't know where I fit in and everything. And then I really loved the community of pro wrestling. And I wanted to be involved. And anytime I tried, I failed. And I was like, damn, how do I not be the black sheep in this industry? Um, and then it took off. And like these kids love me and stuff. And so I call my little cupettes. Um, and yes, that is a unisex term because you can be a cupette, she can be a cupette, the
Yeah,
tree
yeah,
can
for
be a
sure.
cupette. It don't matter. The party is here.
I
Um,
love that, man. I love that.
and it's all about not even me. It's about the people around me because the whole point of Mr. Party, the character, doesn't want to see people sad. He wants them happy. He wants them, dancing and
I love
grooving.
this, man. I
I
love.
love Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. What's their favorite thing? If people were not tapping and and dancing and stuff, uh, then they weren't into it.
For
That's
sure.
life. That's what all the people say. So it's like,
And he
um,
gave y'all a free concert today, man. You
I
don't get
don't.
this anywhere else, man.
I don't. So it's like, you asked me, is this you? Yes. I don't know how to answer it, but yes, because when I think about helping people and doing whatever I can, I don't even think about a performance because it's not a performance. It's just me.
Yeah,
Like just talking about, I got goosebumps. Like John Cena always comes out and says, "Oh, look at that." Well, look at this. Like this is me. I'm not going out there playing wrestler. Um, here's a little backstage secret. Everyone calls me the wrestling giraffe because I'm a tall, lanky dude. I'm 6'5", 230 pounds, and my knees are like popsicle sticks. So but at the end of the day, there's people that can wrestle. There's only a few people who can actually go out there and tell a story and can be funny
that's
and
facts.
keep the funniness going, and stay true to not just their character but to themselves.
For sure.
And that's what I try to bring to the table. Um, there's so many
Definitely.
times where people actually hit me up and they say like, will you go into in depth about your upbringing? And so I tell them like, um, it was rough at times, but it made me who I am today, and I will never change anything. And
Definitely.
so just like it's the holiday season, times are hard. And, I don't even care about the wrestling character part. This is Preston Spangler, the person, not Preston Ryker. If you're going through anything, don't give up. I lost two of my really good friends last
Damn.
night.
Wow.
Um,
Last night?
yeah,
Sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry to hear
and
that.
they're both in the business.
Oh, yeah, I see. I saw that. I saw that, man. I did see that.
So like I'm not in liberties to reveal like what happened, but I know one of them, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
So just if anyone needs help, just reach out to me, reach out to anyone,
for sure.
because like, you matter. I don't care if you're man, woman, or anything, or I don't know the proper terminology for anything, but I don't care what you identify as. If you need help, get help
For sure,
because
man.
people love you, you know.
That is a
So
word, man. I'm glad you're telling people that. And that's one thing we try to promote here on the Whip Show all the time, too. Because that's one thing about wrestling, man. There are people that we have met in this business that you might not have ever met. or hung out with or kicked it with in whatever other situation. But wrestling brings people from all walks of life and genres together. From corporate America wrestling fans to somebody that might live in a trailer park or in a hood. And
Yep.
they
So it
connect.
all brings us together.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna branch off of what you just said. The reason why I love these two companies, I keep talking about them, is because of what they're doing right now. So CIW is doing a toy share or a toy donation, and it's helping families. It's also helping just the kids that don't have toys for Christmas. Please go out there and help them if you're in that area. If you're in the Sharpsville, Indiana area, or even like Kokomo, Indiana, or surrounding areas, please go out and help them, because they have a toy drive, not just to help those families, but they're also helping the families in the hurricane that happened. They're donating all of it, and it's an amazing thing that they're doing. So I beg you, just
if you got that information,
you got
please
an
get
extra
it to us.
$5,
If you got that information, please get it so I can get it up on the Facebook and the social media platforms. I'll get that up for you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, I do want to touch on this because I want to talk about the action figures also. But before we go there, you talked about Freedom Ramsey, who just got ID'd, man. As a guy that's coming up and wrestling yourself, how does it feel first and foremost to see somebody that works hard and get recognized?
Yeah.
And what does it make? How does it make you feel?
Body? Like, bro, his body, like, wow, great job, brother. Like, so we throw him back, he lifts him up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he does.
That man, he's phenomenal. Not just in the ring, but him as a person. Like, I've known him for 2+ years. And started at City Championship Wrestling, where he got scouted at.
Yeah.
Cat Daddy introduced me to him, and Chris Moore. And it's crazy that both of those folks were next to him when he got that ID. And I was like, man, I'm just crying. I was on my lunch break, like, that's my boy.
Yeah, man. Now, how does that make you feel? Does it make it believe that now it's real? It can happen. It really can truly happen. What do you think about that?
If that doesn't light a fire under anyone, then why are you in here? Yeah. You know? Titles are gimmicks. You are a gimmick. Everyone's a gimmick. But the one thing that is not a gimmick is money. And having that brand on you is what we all should be fighting for. That's why any person who's got out of training, or even in training still, they want to become a wrestler and get signed and make money as a day job. It's not like it's not something to throw away.
Yep.
It's a massive thing, and I don't know what the whole ID gimmick even means, but just being able to say, like, you got that, like, I'm so proud of them. Like,
for sure, man. Salute to Freedom. And like I said, that's a title that nobody can ever take away from you.
You can lose a championship. You can't lose that.
Exactly, man. Now, we were talking a little bit about the action figures. Now, this is something different because most wrestlers, they sell T-shirts, they sell little hats, they put their little logo on something. How in the world did you say, you know what, I'm starting an action figure line? Talk to me about that.
So I've been a mark for Matt Hardy.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna lead into it with this little story.
Okay.
The match that saved my life, because I tried to commit suicide. The match that saved my life was EC3 versus Matt Hardy for the TNA World Title. EC3 going into the match was a heel, and Matt Hardy going into the match was the face. They did a flip-flop. Matt was the heel by the end of it, and EC3 was the face. EC3 became the champion and changed my life forever. And I meet him down the road, and I tell him, hey, you saved my life because of this match. Thank you. I'd love to repay you by making you an action figure. And he's like, can I cuss in here?
It's radio, so I got to try to watch it. You can't actually beep it out, dog.
He He said, "Holy crap, really?"
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah." So, long story short, I bought his WWE Mattel Elite, and
Yeah.
I fixed it up into when he won the NWA title, and I made it with the old box, but I made it, in the packaging with that one, and he's like, "That's amazing." He's like, "Have you ever thought about making your own line?" I said, "I'm actually working on it as we speak." Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars later, I had a lot of fails,
Gotcha.
um, but I've reached out to, goodness, 30 plus companies like, "Hey, either let me learn or can I pay you? Can I make payments? Like, how can we do this?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's $30,000 to get two made."
So you
And
get
then we'll talk
two?
about, yeah, just to get two designed, and then um, it'll be another amount just to get them mass produced. I'm like, "Yeah, I got that." So I met this guy. His name is Sam. He lives out in oh goodness, I'm so sorry. He lives out in crap. Another country. I
Okay,
think
okay,
I can't
okay,
think of the
okay.
country. But I'm like, "Hey, I have this idea. I have X amount of money. I will send you right now. Can I get your help?" And he said, "Sure." Now, remind you, I got scammed out of a lot of money before, so I'm like, maybe this won't work. And so I sent him the money, and he's from Australia.
Okay.
So I sent him this money, and then he sent me back a rendering of the Preston Ryker figure. Here's the heads, high detail, and the guy who helped make these heads, his name is Mark, and phenomenal dude. And I can't do it without him. But Sam, he made the arms, and just designed everything, right?
Yeah.
And yes, it was expensive, but he made my dream happen. And I was like, you know what? Instead of making these as one-offs for me, can I make a line? And so I hit up my best friend in the whole world, A7s.
Yes.
He is the best man at my wedding. I would take
Dope.
a bullet for him. Like if he said, "Hey, someone's trying to kill me," I would jump in front of the bullet. I love the guy to death. And so I'm like, "Hey," I tell him everything. I'm like, "Hey, I got this idea." And he's like, "Well, are you serious about it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "All right, do it." And so I'm like, whatever. If he says to do it, I'm doing it because he has his own shirt company and everything. I'm like, you know what? If you can
Shout
do it,
out
I
to
can do
him.
it too.
All of my gimmicks he made. He's made all my stuff.
Same. He's
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
All my gimmicks he's made.
Yeah. And so I told him this that I'm gonna do it, and then I told him I did a preface at Exodus Pro, and I said EC3. I'm doing the figures. I'm gonna make you one. He was like, "Are you BSing me?" And I was like, "No, like bro, like I'm for real." So we worked some stuff out, and then I got him signed, right? And then Aaron Stevens needed something. We worked a trade out. I got him signed. And then obviously my trainer is Congo Kong. So I'm like,
Whoa, whoa,
"Congo."
you were trained by Carl? That's my
Yeah,
dog. Okay, I never knew
yeah,
that.
yeah, Congo. Yeah.
Salute, man.
Yeah. He's also gonna be in my wedding. I call
Okay,
him dad.
okay.
When stuff got hard for me, he stepped in, he became dad. Um and I love it. I'm so grateful for him. So I was like, all right, I got these people. Now it's time to like get this going, right? So then I hit up Sean or Ace, whatever you want to call him, and I was like, "Brother, I want to make a figure of you." And I've never, I would, he's like kick my butt for saying this. I've never seen him get emotional. He's like, I'm so in, like that would mean the world to me. So I'm like, duh, you're my best friend. Like, I want to do it. And so I made him one. He loved it. I made EC3 one. He was in awe. He was like, "You actually did this." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I had Aaron Stevens figure made. Perfect. I have Heather on or something. It's probably my basement now because I'm redoing it with all my wrestling stuff. But I made it. I finally made it. Um, I grew up having the Hardy Boys as action figures, and I collect the broken Matt Hardy figures, and I've been doing one-offs. Like every time he changes his look, no matter if it's broken, woken, or if he's going back to being Team Extreme, I'm like, I'm always doing that. I'm like, why don't I just do it for me? And I finally have it. Um, and so that's introducing True Wrestling Evolution. It is a true wrestling evolution of pro wrestling action figures. These have 20 points of articulation. That means the head moves, the shoulders move this way. You can have the bicep turn, forearm, and the hand swivel. You have an ab crunch like the AEW figures, how they have an ab
Yeah.
crunch. Um, there's so many moving parts. It's amazing. The reason why I am pushing this more than other stuff, not just because it's my line, but is also because it has cloth goods. There's so many times where you get a wrestling figure from Walmart, right, and it's painted on tights or painted on shirt.
Right,
I
right.
have a real cloth good shirt, and I also have real cloth good tights.
Okay, okay.
Um, this picture right here is when I fought this gentleman in Canada at Tony Candelo's company um, at TW or TCW, and then so you have A7s, EC3, Aaron Stevens, myself, and Congo Kong, and you have all my partners right here that I've teamed up with to make this
Nice,
happen. Um,
nice.
I finally did it, and no one could take that away from me. The same way no one could take that away from Freedom Ramsey because he did it.
Yeah.
Um, I had hardly any help, and everyone said you weren't going to be able to do it. So to the haters, thank you. To people that have supported me, I love you.
For sure.
Um, and this is, I promise you, this is just the beginning.
Now I want to, because I don't know if I caught it or not. Make sure you let the people know where they could get the figures from.
Yes. So you can go to my website at truewrestlingevolution.com. And thank you for bringing this up because starting on Black Friday at 1 a.m., you can use promo code 2024 BF. BF stands for Black Friday, and you get 20% off of your full order.
Okay.
Use that promo code at the end, 2024 BF in capital, and you will get 20% off of whatever order you get.
And you ship it anywhere in the world, right? You ship anywhere.
I do ship it anywhere in the world, but they're going to be paying international shipping.
Okay, okay, okay.
And so with my figures, these are all hand painted. They're all 3D printed as well. So it is a very durable resin, but they are not as, I will say they're not as durable as the WWE and AEW figures. But I mean, like, here's a power brick, here's my head. I mean,
Okay.
it's not chipping or anything because it won't.
Yeah.
These are adult collectibles. These are meant to be signed and kept in the box. But if you play with them, by all means. But just be careful with them.
So I
So
do got to say this before we get out of here, man.
yeah,
They look amazing, and I
thank
know
you.
you're going on series two. Please let your boy be in series three, four, five. I'm just saying, one of these days. But beyond
There
that, have
there
you?
will be something for you
Oh
in
man,
a wave.
oh man, oh man. But I gotta ask you. You're talking about these action figures. Have you put them in front of the king of action figures, or should I say the kings? Have you talked to Matt Cardona and his
I
boy
reached
yet?
out.
Okay, you did. Did they get a
I
response yet or
reached
not yet?
out, but I got left on red.
Okay, okay. Well, at least you did. At least you did reach
I
out. Let them
did.
know. Okay.
I do have some people reviewing my product as we speak, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Um, and I have there's one YouTuber that I'm trying to get to, and I'm this close from working a deal out with him, and I'm just so blessed. I can say this part. I worked a deal out with a toy company in Toledo as well that will have my figures. They are called Sylvania Toy Company. They will be having my figures starting next year. I'm very grateful for them. And then I've also worked out a deal with a guy out in New Jersey. He wants to purchase some and put them in his store.
Nice,
So it's just a matter
nice.
of time until they'll be in Walmart.
You
That's
guys
my
hear this,
goal.
man? We talked about Freedom Ramsey getting ID. We talked about this man having a dream, not just letting wrestling be the dream, but growing it. That's why we say this on this show all the time. Go for it. Seriously, just go for it because
Yeah.
you never know. You just talked about it. Don't let any hater tell you what can and can't happen, man. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
For real,
And
man.
and again, I just want to say, Thanksgiving's coming up. If you don't got family, hit me up because I'm your family. We all care about you. We all love you. Um, just live life, man. Life's too short. Just be you and
Yeah.
don't change. Just have fun. Who cares about the politics and all the other crazy stuff? Just be you. But while being you, come see me December 8th at CIW Wrestling at Tremainsville uh, in Toledo, Ohio. And then also watch me win my first championship, the World Heavyweight Championship of AACW. And that will be December 21st in Sharpsville, Indiana.
For sure, man. Now, you know what? Before we get out of here, there's one last segment that I like to do with all my guests. It's something totally off the radar. It's off the cuff. Well, we're going to do two of them, but the first one is called the mark out moment. And what the mark out moment is, and I'm not saying you just start screaming like a little girl, like, ow! But I mean a moment that you might have just been like, yo, this person knows me. Or maybe I'm having a conversation with a wrestler that I never dreamed would even talk to me. Did you ever
Yep.
have one mark out moment yet in your life, man? Well,
Oh
I know you have,
yeah.
but what would you say your number one is?
Ooh. Okay. So Bound for Glory weekend.
Wow, that's
So
recent. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, I've had other ones, but this one is the
Okay.
number one. So the weekend before that, I finally got to wrestle A7s.
Okay.
Again, my best friend, everything. I got my dream gear made by a man named Michael Zodiac. And Matt Hardy wore tights for a short period of time with the key on the side,
Mhm.
right? I got that same gear made, but not PR or MH. I had PR and I didn't have his logo, right? I had
Yeah.
a red solo cup. I showed Matt Hardy this. I paid to see him, right?
Mhm.
And everyone's like, "Oh, why are you gonna pay to see you?" Because at the end of the day, we're all marks. Okay, that's why. If you weren't
Nice.
a mark, you wouldn't be in the business. Uh, so I'm in line. I show him this. And I tell him my story, and I told him previous last time I saw him that the match that saved my life, and it was with him, and he remembered the story. He just forgot my face, and I was like, okay. I show him the gear. He's like, I've never had a worker come up and make gear that was inspired by me that was worn. So I paid for an autograph and a photo. He signed my tights for free. Everyone else was only getting about 20 seconds to like 30 seconds with him because he just got done winning the TNA titles.
Yeah.
Um, I was third or fourth in line. He gave me up to 3 minutes,
Wow.
and he
Okay.
wanted to know about me, why I got into business, my dreams, and how it's going. Um, I told him, I said, I had a lot of ups and downs. I said, but I'm finally understanding it, and I'm having fun, and like just uh, this is words of encouragement was like amazing. Like I'm never gonna stop because um, truthfully, before I wrestled Ace, I was thinking about quitting. It was just, it was a lot of politics,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that part sucks. Um, but the fans kept me going, and then I wrestled Ace, my best friend, and it was like everything clicked. I was like, holy crap, this is what it's about.
For sure. For
Um,
sure.
and I told that story to Matt, and he was like, that's phenomenal. Um, And so he signed my tights. He's like, "Hey, give me this free one. Take it." I was like, wow. So then he gave me another autograph for free, and he's like, hey, you want to hold the title? Now, remind you, I don't know what happened later, but at that time, no one else in front of me held that title, which was crazy. And then he said, hey, you want to hold the title? I was like, yeah. I put it on my shoulder. He makes this side joke. He says, kid, you've never won a title yet, have you? I was like, no. He was like, I can tell you don't know how to hold it.
Dope, man. That's so awesome, dog. We definitely gonna clip this part up and make it real. I like this story here. I'm gonna make sure Matt catches this part of the story too, man. But I do want to ask you this one question before we get out. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a serious question, and I'm gonna tell you, if you want to edit this out, we can. But if not, go ahead and answer.
I like raw. Keep going.
You talked about Michael Elgin being in the company and Congo Kong being your dad. Well, we know we've heard about in the past some of the questionable things, allegations, you know.
Yep.
But you talked to me about them brothers are good dudes. I'm not trying to lead you in anything, but would you like to retort some of those things that people were saying? And you don't have to go too far, but you know.
No, I want to.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I'm glad we're doing this. And I want people to listen to me. I'm glad we're doing this. And I brought those names up for a reason. I also trained with Congo Kong for a reason. And I want you to understand that the allegations upon both people are false. And I'm going to tell you why. Elgin is training women. If the allegations were true about Elgin doing what quote unquote said that he did, he wouldn't be so humble and this blessed and happy to be helping the woman. He'd be in there, really laying it in. If they said the truth, quote unquote, about him, that man loves this business and got screwed for wrongful accusations. Now, Congo. I don't even know if I can. I'm not going to say his shoot name. Congo Kong. I don't even know where to start with that, man. If you don't know that the allegations about him, look it up. But then I want you to pause this and listen to this right after you get done. If he was guilty of what they said he did, he wouldn't have put his career on the line for me. He wouldn't have backed me up when no one else did. I had some really bad things happen. And you know when someone's dirty. Yeah. That man. Congo. Sorry, I'm not going to apologize for getting emotional because it's important that people hear it from a perspective of not just a fan, but someone who is around these people all the time and someone who I consider dad,
Yeah.
They don't get a chance to really clear their name.
Right.
And it's because of these fans that are fickle, that want to think it's all a work, and they get mad because I gotta go out there and take down the ring. You know what? I'm gonna get some heat for this. I gotta take down the ring. I gotta do some stuff before I get paid. No, that's the right way to do it. You take the ring down before you get paid, because that's how I know you're actually going to be a good worker. It's not about the flips and the crap that you do in the ring. It's about the extra stuff you do. Congo trains and teaches people to be not just good people, but to love each other. Because we all know it's a work, but we have to work together. Sure. So I don't understand when the workers or even the fans will bring this up to him, like, if you don't even realize how pathetic you sound. It's been proven that it's wrong. They both have taken it to court and they won. They had multiple accounts of proof that they were not wrong. All I'm asking is just give him a chance.
Mhm.
Elgin deserves a chance. Congo deserves a chance. You you don't understand that this is taken almost, not almost, it did. It took their life away.
Very much so.
And now the little things that they do have in this world of wrestling, I'm gonna call it how it is. It's small. It's pathetic. So I'm begging you fans to just hear him out. And how many times, in the normal day in life, do we have to listen to the fans or normal people get into an argument? Say I get into an argument with so and so, right? I got to hear them out, and then they got to hear me out. We don't have to agree, but I want to hear their side before I can make a final judgment.
Yep. Yep.
Don't they deserve that?
For sure. For sure.
And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
I'm glad that I brought you, and I'm glad that you were open, honest, and candid with that answer because I know you work with both of them closely. I don't know
Yeah,
Michael Elgin as much, but I definitely know Kong. I know him since he was
I will
Osiris.
listen. I will buy you a ticket December 8th. I will buy you a ticket. Come to CIW, and I want you to meet Elgin. Matter of fact, I would do anything for you to get Elgin on here.
For sure. For sure. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. And like I said, I'm glad I want to talk to somebody that actually know them brothers well and could really speak on it, man. So thank you for doing that,
Thank
man.
you for giving me this platform and this time because this has not just been just a dream for me personally, but a dream for my father. He is not here. Before he died 2 years ago from cancer, I told him I'd make it. I feel like I finally made it in this business. I have my own figures. One. For two, I'm helping produce TV with Jimmy Jacobs at CIW Wrestling. And it's WTOL. Like Dad and I would watch the news and other stuff on there growing
Yeah,
up. Like, that's amazing.
for
And for
sure.
three, I finally get to be on very well-known podcasts and people can hear what I have to say. And I love this hanging out with you, bro. Like it doesn't
Man,
even feel like
I
there's no script. It's off the cuff.
that's what
I
I love
put
about
notes
this,
down
man.
like for a toy drive. That's it. Like it
And
was
I'm
great.
glad. And I want to tell the fans, listen, I'm gonna give y'all some behind the scenes. I told him it was gonna take this was gonna be 10 minutes because he was like, so what should we talk about? I said, let's just go. Let's just kick
Yeah.
it. We done went 45 minutes, baby. And it has been awesome from top to bottom. And I'm keeping all of it. I'm not cutting none of this, dog. So
Thank
I
you.
want you to know, man, for real, coming from me to you, salute. I've been watching your work. Listen, even before I met you, I was hip to you. I saw you at Battle of the Creek and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I know how you was getting down. So when I met you in person, it was like I put two and two together. I was like, that's him. So,
Yep.
dog, salute. And I'm glad you told people this also about saying you feel like you made it. I know we all, even back in my day when I was wrestling, everybody want to go to WWE and all that. Yes, it's cool. We want to get the money and all that.
Oh yeah.
But your dream is to be a wrestler. That is the
Yep.
first dream. So once you first walk in them ropes and people see you do what you will do, that is you made it then. And
Oh
I'm telling
yeah.
you, I tell people that all the time. They say that's crazy, but I'm telling you, if you know what I'm talking about, being 3 years old, watching them people, and then you actually can do this, and now the same, just like you were 3 wanting an autograph, kids are coming up to you asking you for an autograph, man.
I got a
Talk to
question
that
for
moment.
you. I got a question
Okay,
for
go
you, and
ahead.
I
Yes,
want
sir.
to end on this, and then I'll tell you mine, and then we can do whatever. Give me your top three most favorite wrestlers of all time.
Top three favorite wrestlers of all time. Off the cuff, I was a Hogan guy.
Okay.
Hollywood, Hulkamania. Actually met him at Arnold Schwarzenegger Sports Fest. We got to
Okay.
take a picture. I was dressed as Whipomania. He was Hogan, and that's why it's funny because you talked about people paying. We could have actually met Hogan for free, but you could jump the line for $100.
At
I
the
gave him
bar in
$100, dog.
Florida?
I'm jumping the line. Yes, so he was my number one. Number two, I was a big Rock guy. I like the
Ooh.
Rock. And in the last couple of years, I'm gonna say it switched up. My number three, is the tribal chief. That's how much I
Wow.
like the tribal chief. It's
Okay.
yeah. But those are my three.
All right. I got to meet all three of mine, and I actually got to share a locker room with one of them too. Actually, with if I had to do four, but I'm gonna do three. My first one, Matt Hardy,
Yes.
hands down. Number two, Eugene. I got to share a locker room with him,
Right.
and I got to be on the same show with him, and he liked my character. Awesome. And yeah, I will say it. Number three, Shark Boy.
Nice.
And
Ooh,
I got to
okay.
wrestle Shark Boy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe it was his last match.
Okay. 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 Oh, that's so dope. Well, guys,
Yeah.
hey, let them know once again how they can get a hold of you directly if they want to follow you. Because you told
Yeah.
them if they want to talk, you're available. If you want to just
Yeah,
kick it with them.
please.
So let them know how they can
Um,
find you on Facebook and everything.
Facebook
Yeah.
at Preston Ryker, PrestonRyker. On Instagram, it's Preston Ryker brand. On my TikTok, it's Preston Ryker. Also, please, it only takes a few minutes. Go on my website. Check my website out for the action figures. Even if you don't get anything, that's fine. I just want you to see my product. It's very good, and I believe in it with my whole heart. And you can go to truewrestlingevolution.com. And again, if you do want to get something, type in the promo code 2024 BF for Black Friday, and you get 20% off. And that's only on Black Friday. But yeah, like I said, please reach out if you need anything. If you need just someone to talk to, or even anything, just to say, hey, what's up, like,
For sure.
or see where I'm at, because I'm picking up shows other places. It is going to be the Christmas time. Me and my fiance just bought a house, so yeah, it's been a blessing, man, and I'm so grateful, and I'm really grateful for 2025, and to see my current fans and new fans, and so I can't wait to see you again. We're gonna hang out, and
Most definitely. I was like, I was going to come to the last CIW show because Phil, he asked me directly to come down, but like I had
really,
just got married the night before, so
I
so he was
remember
throwing
that.
my
Congrats, man.
thanks, man. So I couldn't make it. I told him I was going to try, but it was like that was my wedding week, so it was a little rough. But I'm definitely coming down to one of the shows. I got to see what you guys doing because I've always liked it, been watching it from afar for years, so I got to come check it out, man.
And I want to say, Greg, buddy, you're looking down right now. I love you, and we did it. He was always a huge supporter of me, and we found out that he died yesterday, and there was another gentleman as well. Um, he was a very big part of the CIW locker room, and he'll never be replaced.
Well,
So
guys, you heard that?
everyone have a great holiday, and
Yes.
Red Solo Cup.
I
I fill
fill
you up.
you up.
Let's
Let's
have
have
a
a
party.
party. Guys, you heard the man. Follow him. So much information. This young man is doing amazing things in the wrestling world. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you check out all his promotions and check out his website so you get to them action figures and tell him make the whip dog figure. I'm saying, just saying. You know what to do. Stay locked in right here to Wrestling Heroes and Insiders Podcast, aka the Whip Show on 106.1 FM, WAKT Toledo's community radio station.